He shared a lot of information on Facebook on gut health. Without further ado, let's invite our handsome professor to be on stage.
Thanks, everyone. And what Kazan is doing is that you need to record because I think that our power is actually very important. So what I want to talk about today is something different. So this book was published 2 years ago, and it's been selling very well. And it's about probiotic 2.2. And why 2.0? Why do we say 2.0? 1.0 is actually talking about a probiotic improving our gastrointestinal system. And we say that we take a probiotic because we want to prevent constipation. So I'm slowing down in my speech because there are Japanese and English translation. So 2.0 is different. 2.0, probiotic 2.0 is actually enter into a new generation. So, besides gastrointestinal system, it also affects the whole body. So it will actually affect all parts of our system, including our metabolism, our allergy, our skin condition, etc. This is what we cannot imagine in the past. So most importantly is that in the past 5, 6, 7 years, we have a breakthrough. So that is about microbiome. And because we know that all of our body, there are microorganisms, or we call microbiome, and it is actually connected with our skin, is connected to our lung, and all this microbiome is actually closely connected with each other, and it is also connected to our immune system. So this is a very key point in modern microbiome. So the most important support is that it's microbiome knowledge. That's very key knowledge that we should know. So I will share with you some data today. This is a bestseller selling books 5, 6 years ago. The title is 10% human. What does that mean? It says that the human cells, it is only constitute 10%, and 90% is actually microbiome cells. So it's and microbiome is actually more than our human cells. So this book talk about how do you know that microbiome actually control your health and your happiness? So your psychological happiness and health are controlled by microbiomes. So I think most of you are not into research, so you may not have such research. So just accept what I've said. So I've done 35 to 40 years of a professor. I've been teaching. So if my students do not listen to what I said, I'll be very angry. I'm a very impatient person, so I'm not so patient to educate whether the students would understand. So I just want my student to understand, to just accept what I say. So I want to let you know that our human health, our mental satisfaction and happiness are actually closely connected with our microbiome. So just accept this fact, because I've done so much research, it has proven this point. So do you know that people who are obese and people who are allergic and people who are autistic, all these are closely connected with our microbiome. So now it's COVID era. So for past 3 over years, I've not taken flight. I've not gone overseas. So yeah, 2 days ago, I came to Singapore. So I have sacrificed my very first flight to Xiangjie, Miss Lee. So this is COVID pandemic time, and it will not pass. And we know that we are now more open up, and now we will talk about post-COVID. Post-COVID era, it is everywhere. So have you thought about it? Have you thought about it? Why are there people who have been infected and they it became very severe, and some are very mild, some have to be connected to the oxygen machine, and some have to be hospitalized. So when you are facing with virus, how does your body react? And what is the determinant factors? It is actually based on our body resistance. And in the past 1-2 years, I have been putting a lot of emphasis on resilience. What is resilience? Resilience in the past is actually coined by is something that psychologists or educationists they is something that they pay attention to. You know, how do I teach a student so that they can actually deal with stress? And for me, I'm teaching the doctors, and doctors is actually a group of people who are highly stressed. So if I can improve their resilience, so if they are not resilient, how are they going to face with us, the patients in the hospital and in the ICU? So now we see that a biologist are also paying attention to resilience. So the American psychologist says that resilience can be strengthened. It is not something that is innate or inborn. And this chart is very important. For some people, this is PTSD. PTSD. So some people, this is actually post-traumatic stress syndrome. Yeah, some people are actually PTG, post-traumatic growth. So, so the first one, PTSD, they are not able to remain resilient after trauma. But the second group of people, PTG, they are able to grow after they are faced with a trauma. So this is what we talk. This is the resilience that we're talking about. So Ross, professor, say that from says that what is the key point of resilience? It says that it is immunity as well as intestinal bacteria. So intestinal bacteria is very important, and immune system is very important. So resilience, the key about resilience is actually microbiome, our microbiome. And I mentioned that 90% of our body actually made up of microbiome cells. So we're talking about immunity and intestinal bacterial. The first thing we should talk about is probiotic. So, and in 1 year, there are thousands of theses that are talking about probiotic. As long as we talk about microbiome, we talk about immunity, probiotic will surface. It is something that is unavoidable. So it's always a probiotic that is important. Let's talk about microbiome. So in our body, we have 100 trillion of a microbiome that actually are surviving in our body. And 95% there are actually in our large intestine. And we have 100 trillion of all these microbiome, and there are many different microbes, and 95% of our diseases are actually related to our our microbiome, and only 10% is due to other factor. So this is really very important. So for Professor Lin and myself, we actually have our 80% and 90% of our microbiome are actually different. But in terms of our genetic diversity, 99.9% are similar. So everyone have different microbiome. It is unique. So let's look at the next slide. So where are these microbes come from? It all come entirely from mother. So recently I wrote a a paper and will release it in Facebook. So father is actually playing an important role, but regardless of all these, mother is the most important role, because when you are born, you are actually receiving the microbiome from your mother. So when you are in the uterus, that's basically there's no bacteria. So after you're born, so of course your mother will have to go through a birth process for maybe 10 over hours. As you come out from the mother's birth canal, the microbiomes are actually it's attached to you. So if for mother, if you want to give birth, you want to be pregnant, you should start taking probiotic, because your probiotics are directly given to transferred to your babies. And so the microbiome state of the baby actually determine this person's health for life. And sometimes, so if you actually let a young child take antibiotic, it actually affect them for the whole life. And so for mother, we must really pay attention. If you want to have children, you must make sure that your gut bacteria are in good condition, because it will determine the health of your children for life. And so we should try to avoid cesarean birth as far as possible. So this is breastfeeding is very important. And vagina-born babies, they have different microbiome environment. And you can see that babies who are actually born cesarean, their microbiome are actually different, and it is not possible to bring it back to the optimal level. Let's look at the next slide. This is a very famous professor. He is actually from Southern California University. His name is Robert Knight. He actually do research on microbiomes, and he says that it's important to have actually have vaginal birth. So he knows that microbiome is very important. So, but sometimes it is unavoidable that a mother has to go through C-section. So, so he actually used a gauze from the hospital and use it to absorb the fluid from the birth canal. And when the baby is born, he actually used a gauze and apply it onto the baby skin. So this is what we call vaginal seeding. So this was actually published in Nature Medicine journal. So we're not encouraging you to do this, because if you want to do it, the doctor will not help you. Yeah, because there are some other risks involved. But this Professor Knight, he actually did this for his own wife. So what I want to emphasize is that the mother's microbiome is very important. The other thing is about breast milk.
你站在这里这样拿着就好。没关系 ，it's okay。好，母乳也是蛮重要的哦。
So breast milk is very important. So I'll not talk too much about breast milk. And I think we have done a lot of research on breast milk more than a decade ago from China. We collect the data from China, from Malaysia. So we have collected more than 500 samples of breast milk and doing research, and it actually affect the baby's health. And when a mother is pregnant, at the later phase, there are changes in the body, and the mother actually have to make a lot of sacrifice in order to give birth. So at the later trimester, the whole body is actually in a inflammation state, and it is a lot of metabolism chaos. And so there's the immune system change, and the immune cells will actually go into the intestinal tract, and it will actually grab all the good bacteria and send it to the breast and to actually implant it there. So in the past, we said that breast milk doesn't have good bacteria and it has bad polluted bacteria. That is actually totally wrong. God has already made the arrangement. So when we breastfeed a baby, God has already made the preparation. So how does a baby get the good bacteria? It comes from the mother. And father is also very important. Your lifestyle is also important. So for father, you have to carry your baby. That's very important. So this is God axis. So this is a key focus in the past 3 to 5 years. So it talk about God brand access. So there have been like 5,000 papers on this, and also God liver access. There are 1,000 over papers, and also there are also God lung, God kidney access. So all these different access are all being researched, and but currently there's no papers on ovary. So when we say that the lower dantian, it is actually the ancestor of our life. It's the source of our energy, and it's the origin of all our organs, and as well as our meridian. So this is very important. So our intestines, the microbiome in our intestines are actually connected to all our body, and it affect entire body. It affect our skin. And yes, I have mentioned briefly. In the past, we thought that when your good bacteria are good, are enough, and your immunity will be good, and your skin will be good. Now the research is that we have to say that we have to apply Avida's products, because when externally you are beautiful and you are healthy, your bacteria are actually good, and it will actually it is a dual direction. It moves in a direction from interior to exterior, from exterior to internal. So both ways are very important. So and I think I have to also take care of my skin, because if my skin condition is good, it will actually bring good bacteria into my body. So today we don't have time to talk about all this axis. I'll talk about intestine and lung axis because of COVID. So have you ever thought about, the food when you eat and it go into our stomach, and the gastric acid will actually process it, and a lot of bacteria are actually killed in the stomach. So maybe 1% will go into our intestine. So how about lung? When it comes in, so you will eat a few times in a day, and sometimes some people will eat 6 or 7 times. So, but when you breathe, it's different. When you are breathing, you have to breathe every second, every minute. So there are a lot of pollutants that are being breathed into. So there are a lot of virus and pathogen in the air. So we only have some nasal hair to actually block all this, to filter out all these pollutants. So don't cut your nasal birth. And our alveoli there are actually 700 million alveoli, and it actually process our input and output of our air. So how did God design our body such that it can actually protect us? So lung have a lot of microbiome, and so wherever there are microbiome, there will be immune cells. So we have about so in the lung we have about 150,000 immune cell. In intestine there are more. So our lung and our guts are closely connected. So this is what we mean by gut lung axis. So we should take care of our lung and our guts to prevent COVID. So COVID only comes, it's actually in the past 2-3 years, we have seen a lot of papers that talk about how probiotic can help us to combat against COVID-19. So we should take probiotic every day to fight against COVID. And someone asked me about probiotic, live biotic, whether so whether we have animal content. No, it is totally vegetarian. So based on our data, it says that probiotic is able to reduce our impact from influenza. So, and does it help with COVID-19? Definitely. So in 2 decades ago, I went to Japan, and Matsumoto, I went there for a speech, to deliver a speech, and me and another Japanese professor talk about immune system. And 2 decades ago, we already know that if we consume probiotic, it will actually help to strengthen our immunity. So this professor used animals to actually do the experiment. And also when they give the mouse the probiotic and they actually inject the influenza virus into through the nasal cavity, and they realized that the virus were killed by the probiotic. So this was done 2 decades ago. And
我在68岁，因为我爸爸是88岁过世的。
when I was 68 years old, between 68 to 78 years old, I said that I must strengthen my muscle. So I want to be a muscular old man. And second thing is I want to learn my English. And 78 to 88 years old, I want to go tour around the world with my wife. All right. So these are some of my old photos. Okay, let's skip some of the slides. Between 2017 to 2018, using a probiotic to reduce influenza impact, it actually have a lot of impact in reducing the respiratory tract infection and also reduce the number of antibiotic. And for COVID, it's the same. So this is done by other people. And now because now to do COVID research is so difficult because so let's skip this. Now what our focus more is on the long COVID or post-COVID. So this is what a lot of people are paying attention to. So our team in Taiwan are also doing a probiotic impact on a clinical trial on long COVID. And what are the long COVID symptoms? So the most common one is fatigue, hair loss, inattentiveness, shortness of breath, etc. And I had COVID for 2 months, and up to now, I still have some phlegm I have to drink. And that's also body aching and anxiety. In Taiwan, our team, we are doing some clinical research on anxiety, fatigue, and poor quality of sleep. So long COVID is definitely directly linked to your intestinal condition. So although we have not used probiotic to do the experiment, we're not using live biotic to do a test, but based on my profession, I know that it definitely will help to improve. So this is my Facebook. My handsome professor, that's a name that someone gave me because Ying is my name and Jin is bacteria. So post-COVID era, we will really have to pay attention to exercise, our diet, and our mental health. And Avita have a lot of products. I think almost all products are directly or indirectly affecting our body immune system. So our Avita associates, we should not have long long COVID. If you're not, if you have long COVID, you're not using the products. So this is actually my breakfast. Well, this one is my my wife, and the other one is mine. And we also have a live biotic. So, long COVID, post COVID, we have to really pay attention to our health. We must actually have some vision to be healthy. So just now I talk about lung. So the microbiome in our body, which are the site that is very important. I talk about mother's microbiome is most important, because giving birth is actually a way to actually continuing the human mankind. And we say that this from vagina to the uterus, and normally we think that the types of microbiome, we look at the birth canal, 99% is lactobacillus, and a lot of probiotics are actually made up of lactobacillus. And if you go further, that is 97% lactobacillus, and then if you go further in, it is lower. So the child have to actually, baby have to go through this birth canal. So the probiotic that you've taken are actually lactobacillus. So when you consume food, it will go through your stomach, and your tongue actually will depends on lactobacillus to protect you, and also how to protect your childbirth. It is lactobacillus, so that's very important microbiome bacterial. So for the semen, the quality of semen is also very important. So let's skip to the next one.
I'm not used to speaking so slowly. This is talk about our immunity, our immune system. Yes, in the intestine, the most important immune organ of the human. Why? Because it's just like our lung. Because our lung have the exchange of air. In the intestine, we have the exchange of nutrients. We need to absorb all the nutrients. Because of all these blood vessel, you can actually transport the nutrient to various parts of the body. Your immune system, the 7 or 8% is in our gut system. When you have these probiotics, you can strengthen your immune system. So when you have a good immune system, your skin will glow, because most of the immune cells are in your gut system. When you take these probiotics, we will actually stimulate the intestine health. And from the nose, when you enter into the body, yes, they have all these good bacteria that come in. And these white blood cells and all this white protein will enter into your body. It will strengthen our immune system. When you have a strong immune system, your nasal cavities will be strong as well. And we also have a test on the mice, take the probiotic. And through that, actually, they kill all the bad bacteria already. So there are very little bad bacteria that enter into the body, especially the virus, and especially during COVID. Okay, let's continue. This is a what we call metabolic syndrome. Yeah, the 3 high, yeah, high blood sugar, obesity, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. What is the important point? This is due to improper lifestyles. Yeah, because improper lifestyle, you have all these metabolic syndrome. And all these metabolic diseases, and more than 80% of the diseases relate to metabolism system or due to lifestyle, bad lifestyle. And a lot actually lead to hospitalization and many health issues. This morning I watched a report, and the Northern Europe people, they only stay in the hospital about two weeks before they die. In Taiwan, about 7 years. They have 7 years is actually in healthy. In Singapore, it's about 10 years. The last 10 years in sickness. And so all these, metabolism diseases that cause you to be hospitalized and have the 3 highs. And you want to eat something good, but you cannot. Oh, I want to eat a dessert. My wife told me, oh, you cannot take. I cannot drink wine. Yeah, because all this improper lifestyle, that trap us. And all these metabolism issues due to what is the main issue is because of the gut bacteria. When you have good gut bacteria, and then you have a good immune system. You can take a look at this. When you have improper lifestyle, you have very high fats diet. You change the environment of your gut health, and all these bad bacteria, and they bring in all the toxins in our body. And you have all these unhealthy food into your body. When you don't exercise, you have an imbalanced gut health, and all this they cause inflammation. You will go into your body and go into your bloodstream, and then you transfer to your whole body, and then cause inflammation. And this is actually a brain inflammation. Why they have dementia? Yeah, because actually all this is caused by inflammation in the brain and caused by the gut issue. We must exercise more. We must have healthy diet, and of course, you must manage your stress. So probiotic, what is the benefit? It can actually balance the health of our gut health. So in your gut health, it's actually there's more good bacteria. All the inflammation will reduce. Then you cause all the reduction of inflammation in your body. Then you reduce dementia. Sudoku, I like to play that. Play for a few hours. Why is it? So why I want to play it? Because it can prevent dementia. Instead of Sudoku, must well take more PROBIOTICS because you actually protect your gut health. Then you reduce all the red dots. Reduce all the inflammation in your body. Okay, let's continue. PROBIOTIC Plus is we have a special K21 PROBIOTIC strand. I'm very happy with this bacterial strand. The earlier days, it's actually inflammation. When we test on the mice, and then we actually derive the K21 bacteria. We have also added many other good bacteria. There's about 6 to 7 bacteria. So now it's 4. Okay, then the main key one is K21 bacteria. And you reduce the inflammation in our gut system. Very important. Actually increase your immune system, resilience in our body. It can balance our health and reduce inflammation. Okay, and strengthen our microbiome. We did a lot of research on this. We can only share a little bit of our research studies. We let the mice actually take all the high-fat diet and become very fat. This is at the cellular level. And then these fat issues cells will make it absorb all the fats, and the mice become very fat, and they are very chubby and round. But after they take the K21 probiotic, and then they reduce the weight. Now this done on cellular level. We also done on animal. You take a look at this mice with the normal diet and a high-fat diet, and I can see actually the body weight actually increase. But after we add on the K21 probiotics, actually reduce the weight. You want to put. Okay, so you can take K21 probiotic to reduce your weight as well. Obesity, is it normal? It's not normal, yeah, because obesity brings a lot of diseases, chronic issues, which is inflammation, and K21 can help on that. Oh, Professor Chai, I take 20 packets of PROBIOTICS. I never reduce my weight. Why is it so? After you take PROBIOTIcs, you need to control your diet. You need to exercise. It's not, that's one thing. So you are doing arbiter business, then you won't be fat. So you exercise a lot, then you will not be fat. Yeah, so it's good to go for some swim. So this PROBIOTIC Plus can actually help you to reduce the inflammation in your body, but you need to exercise as well. Triglycerides, yeah, and actually TG, yeah, and cholesterol will also reduce, especially TG. And from the 73 went up to 100 over. With K21, it actually come down to 70 only. Okay, reduce inflammation in the body. And actually reduce the inflammation factor. This is the liver. This is in unhealthy liver. Those who take the mice that take K21, yeah, you can see the liver health actually become much because this GOT and GPT is actually measure of the liver health. This is the main contribution of K21. And we have a patent. Yeah, it's actually on a anti-inflammation and immune modulation. Yes, actually it's on inflammation on our immune system and also towards our mental health as well. So the probiotic is not only on gut health, but also on your immune system, on your metabolic function, and also on your mental level. So the gut health is the basic. Once you improve the gut health, improve the bowel movement, you can balance the body, reduce inflammation. So PROBIOTIC can help to achieve all these functions. So I also talk a little bit about mental health. So we did not actually do a lot of research on K21, but actually there's a lot of studies, research on that. This is our small intestine, our gut, especially our second brain. Why is it so? Because in our gut system, there's a lot of, and there's actually a lot of neurons. Yeah, these the happy hormones, and 50% is actually in our brain. Yeah, and the other 50% is actually 95% is actually in our gut system. And you see anti depression. Yes. So the brain health is so important. Okay, gut system is very complicated. So this photo, it can actually have you impress upon you the gut health is very important on your mental health as well. So actually, there's a dialogue between your brain health and your gut health. And then after that, it will affect your immune system, where you take a lot of PROBIOTIC can strengthen your mental health as well. You take a PROBIOTIC to reduce inflammation and then to strengthen your immune system. Okay, you have to take a few weeks to see the results, but to improve your mental health, it can be very quickly. But of course, it's not on everyone. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we can't explain. Yeah, some people actually the results is very good. Some are slower. But as long as you continue to take, yeah, you can see the results. I actually retired from Taiwan Yangming Medical University. I took a lot of government's fund to do research. Yeah, of course, I have the responsibility. I actually had a spin-off company. Spin-off company, yeah, seeding company. So it's actually set up in 2015 to do all the research. And it actually expand very quickly, especially relating to K21 bacteria and also on the psychobiotic. It's a top 10 psychobiotic supplement market. Yeah, we have two companies. This is actually in Europe, sales in Europe. So we are the top, 10 psychobiotic supplement market in the world. So for me, I am not playing every day. I do a lot of research as well. I like to drink Japanese sake, not just to drink sake, but also work very hard. So probiotic is the future. The strongest is this K21 psychobiotic. PS21 is very close to K21. They have some similarity. They actually increase the dopamine and serotonin. It can actually strengthen our brain health. This is a PS23. I have not actually introduced. This is a new bacteria that we are doing research from the gut health of the children. Can be anti-depression, also anti-aging as well. Yeah, this is postbiotic. Yeah, you can Google. Yeah, this is a new term. It's called the postbiotic. So actually, heat killed the bacteria. Probiotic. Okay, probiotic is actually alive. Yeah, you actually treat it, and after that it becomes postbiotic. It also has a purpose. It also has a function. It can actually be added on into different food. Can add into the milk, into the coffee. Add on to your cereal. Yeah, there's a way to add on to our food supplement. There's about 8 to 9 papers that we have actually established and published on depression, on aging. Research on aging is actually about 5 to 7 papers. So these are medical studies done on the elderly. From those about those mild dementia, especially on the elderly, about their brain function and also their muscle mass. PS23, why this is actually extracted from Psalm 23 because I'm a Christian. A few examples. It's a complicated slide, so I just skip for the sake of our translator. PS23 can increase the muscle mass. Yes. Sarcopenia. Yeah. You see how the mice actually catch, yeah? They can hold on. They strengthen the muscle mass and muscle strength. Those who take the PS23 and those postbiotic, the mice actually can strengthen their muscle strength. Sarcopenia, basically it's a reducing of reclining muscle mass, especially people in the 50s. Because every week I go to the gym. Yeah, I actually raise the dumbbell because I built my muscle mass. I want to build my muscle mass and in my 80s until 108, and then muscle mass will gradually reduce. So I have to build it out first. For elderly, this is the most important. Yeah, one is actually dementia, one is muscle mass reduction. This is actually to strengthen the muscle mass, very, very powerful supplement. You cannot imagine a bacteria when you take it into your body. Mitochondria in your body. Yeah, it's actually the power station in your cells. Very important. The amount can actually increase when you take PS23 a long term. you have this enough power bank inside your cells, and the DNA actually become more. This is very rare. And now that we know that actually probiotic has such function, especially on the muscle, and on a different part of the muscle in the body, it actually can strengthen and make it bigger. Especially the mice will take this K23, HK23, muscle fiber become thicker. You have more of the muscle mass. This is actually targeted on sarcopenia. But this one not easy to understand. Ghrelin. This is a very important hormone. We thought, it's not really hungry. You take PS23, you get hungry very easily now. Then you eat a lot. No, it's not true. Actually, it's got to do your muscle mass, division of your cells, your brain health, your blood pressure, your heart health also is multi-function. Okay, it's actually secreted from the stomach. So this one, when you add HK23, can actually increase ghrelin. Okay, so for both, this one can actually increase the ghrelin for the live biotics and those post-biotic. When this ghrelin increase, has actually a positive expression, a correlation with your muscle strength and muscle mass. Once you have increase in ghrelin, your muscle mass and muscle strength will increase. That's why this is the future of 2.0 probiotics. I'm not just a poo-poo professor. Actually, move ahead already, because gut health is not about poo-poo. It's not just about digestion. Probiotic 2.0, actually, there's a lot of functions. Actually, from your brain health, your lung health, are all connected. So don't underestimate the power of these probiotics. I dare not look at Miss Lee when I talk about this. We have to produce even more better probiotics for Avita. And the last one, probiotic for anti-aging. Can you believe this? Is it possible? I talk about digestion, immune system issues, metabolism issues. Another one is a challenge for myself. I ask myself, for probiotic, does it have this anti-aging function? Is it possible? Nobody actually thought about it. Last year, I published a review. It's called Gerobiotic, probiotic targeting fundamental aging processes. Is there a probiotic that is targeted on anti-aging to improve the anti-aging functions? You can slow down aging, and you reverse your youth as well. Actually, there are some publishers invited me to write the books. Probiotic for healthy aging. Gerobiotic, there's a new article. As we age, here everybody is very, very young. So this is actually very good. You can start to prevent heart attack, cardiovascular diseases, high blood pressure, Alzheimer, high blood pressure, smoking, cholesterol, diabetic. For cancer, it's actually smoking and drinking and diet. But when you age, all these factors disappear. When you age, whether you have actually high blood pressure, smoking, doesn't matter. When you age, you keep smoking, you always keep drinking. When you age, and that actually is a big factor. When I'm old, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. So I want to keep healthy. I'm 68, so I want to actually have muscle mass, a good old man. So when you age, all these factors is nothing. But in US FDA, aging is not a disease. It's not even an indication. Yeah, I want to apply with FDA. I want to invent a anti-aging food probiotic. It cannot, because aging is not a disease, not a sickness. We can't do this research on aging. Only the recent years you can see. You can actually do research aging related something. They actually relax this area. So we want to explore and evaluate and research R&D on this anti-aging probiotic. So we want to R&D and explore new anti-aging probiotic. Yeah, they follow 1,000 people from 1972 until they are actually from 3 years old until 40. So actually, there's a 20 over aging factors. When you age, actually start from 20 over years old. Only I'm very excited when I saw this photo. Actually, aging start from 20 plus. So anti-aging, you must start from when you're young. So in the past, when I hit 50 or 60, I have high blood pressure. I want to do a illness treatment, a specific disease prevention. But now the prevention, when we are young, you have to actually prepare slow aging. You can slow down aging. From you're young, you have to prepare to slow down aging. Now you can live until 90 or 100 years old. I want to live until at least 98 years old. Yeah, it's how you maintain your health. When you're 20, 30s, you have to actually slow down aging. There's actually a lot of research done on aging. There's a lot of factors, indicators, about 8 to 10. Yeah, look at all these factors. This is what I'm doing research. PS23 is on this area. PS23 actually can help, and actually can help telomere to strengthen your telomere, to strengthen your telomere, to lengthen your telomere. This is also the basic function of aging, the indicator. Yeah, it can actually improve all these aging indicators. So we are in 20, 30 years old, you can start to actually prevent and slow down aging. You can live until 90 years old. Back to our main topic, the future of probiotic 2.0. So in the past, actually, probiotics are relating to gut health, but now it's much more, even relating to aging. Yeah, probiotic even can control your brain health. So like myself, when I do R&D research on probiotic, it can actually eventually slow down aging. Can reverse your youth as well. This is for all the elderlies. The second half of our life, where we age gracefully. Yeah, don't wait till tomorrow. Just do whatever we feel. Just do it. I'm much more energetic than any of the youth. Yes, yeah. So let us age gracefully. We can 98 years old, slow down. Yeah, but still, yeah, we don't need to control. I want to research on aging probiotic, but the main brain health is very important. Here, take labiotic. It's not just because of poo-poo or constipation. Yeah, many people can take probiotic, must take daily. An important factor. Don't just rely on your feelings. You must trust all the big data that Professor Tsai has actually done research on, and you improve your immune system so that you can actually defend COVID. Thank you very much. 谢谢。